Turkey's strongman Recep Tayyip Erdogan has secured another term as the country's president after winning a majority of votes in Sunday's presidential election, according to Anadolu Agency, the state-run news service of the Turkish government. His main opponent, Muharrem İnce of the secularist Republican People's Party (CHP), has officially conceded, meaning Erdogan will assume the significantly expanded powers he narrowly secured in a referendum last year. With 99% of the vote counted, Anadolu Agency gave Erdogan 53% of the ballots, with İnce behind at 31%, despite enormous popular rallies and a seemingly galvanized opposition movement in the lead-up to Election Day. As results came in, İnce suggested that voting had not been conducted fairly. There were numerous allegations of electoral fraud and voter intimidation on Sunday, although turnout was high at 87%. In a press conference on Monday, İnce said that although the election was not a fair race, he accepted the results. Erdogan proudly addressed supporters from his Justice and Development parties, AKP, headquarters in the capital city of Ankara early Monday morning, telling them, "The winner of this election is each and every individual among my 81 million citizens," and lauding the lessons in democracy Turkey had given to the rest of the world. He added, "I hope nobody will damage democracy by casting a shadow on this election and its results to hide their failure." Almost half the country voted against the new presidential powers Erdogan would now assume. The April 2017 referendum passed with a yes vote of 51%, setting out a new level of presidential authority set to take hold after Sunday's election. The country's parliamentary system will now become one focused on the office of the president. The post of the prime minister will be abolished, and its powers transferred to Erdogan, who will also have the ability to appoint senior judges, ministers and vice presidents, giving him full control of those who are tasked with checking his authority. The president will also be allowed to intervene freely in the legal system and impose states of emergency. A state of emergency remains in place, following a failed coup against Erdogan in July 2016 that resulted in the deaths of 240 people. Erdogan became president in 2014 after 11 years as prime minister. The new constitution will, under certain conditions, allow Erdogan, who is 64, to run for a third term in 2023, potentially leaving him in power until 2028. Critics say the new powers give too much authority to a single person and remove the checks and balances vital to ensure a balanced and representative democracy. But for Erdogan and his supporters, the new constitution is needed to secure economic growth and address security threats ranging from Kurdish insurgents to pro-coup opponents, about 40,000 of whom have been arrested and 120,000 fired from their jobs since the attempted coup. Erdogan also claimed the AKP had won a majority in the 600-seat chamber in a separate parliamentary vote. Anadolu said the party had won 42% of the votes with 99% counted, projecting a total of 293 seats. Its partner party, the far-right Nationalist Movement Party, secured around 11% of the vote and 50 seats. İnce's CHP was projected to win 23% of the vote and 146 seats. The pro-Kurdish People's Democratic Party (HDP) posted a strong showing, passing the 10% threshold required to enter parliament and securing 67 seats. This success came despite the fact that leader Selahattin Demirtas has been detained on terrorism charges for alleged links to Kurdish insurgents, accusations he denies. Demirtas received 8.4% of the presidential vote, according to Anadolu Agency. Erdogan exercised his tight grip on the country's media in the run-up to the vote, with coverage of him dwarfing that of his rivals. According to figures produced by opposition members of Turkey's media watchdog in May, Anadolu gave Erdogan 68 hours of airtime compared with 7 hours for Ents. Updated. This article has been updated to reflect the fact that Muharrem Ince has conceded the election.